So what happens is you find yourself losing time to yourself, for yourself. You find yourself losing the ability to connect with your friends and your other loved ones in the process. So that's, I think, the initial grievance. If someone seems to be angry, if someone seems to maybe be in denial,
depressed,
depressed,
sadness.
Absolutely.
It's okay to say that you're sad or that you're angry. This is a major transition on both parts. So it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay to be honest about your feelings.
Yeah, almost necessary, because if you keep it all pent up, then where's it going?
So if you're not talking about the feelings, what happens is that you end up showing signs of like anger and resentment toward each other. Because you're around each other so much, those feelings are bouncing back and forth between the two. I know in families that can be a bit of a touchy subject, because a lot of times we have those designated family members who are always the doers that you can always depend on, and so they feel like sometimes they're alone. They're kind of isolated. Not thinking that anybody will step up to help. But those are the conversations that families need to have, because it is something that you do have to enlist help.
If we put it in like a short version, candid conversation. Like be honest, be open, be real. And again, both individuals, the one being taken care of and the one giving the care, because the one being taken care of needs to be candid enough to say, I might not want that, or I don't like that, or you're doing too much. Because sometimes caregiver, you know, they get in this mindset that I have to do all of this, because if I don't, then it won't, and it's necessary because you need it all.
Seeking the help of a professional as well to get certain documents and paperwork in order. Making sure that you know where insurance forms are, and knowing the medications that they take. I think conversations need to be had, and then seeking the help of a professional to get all of that organized so that you have everything in one place.
Yes, and that was the next area that we wanted to talk about, is organizing the medical history and finances.
And finances are important too, because it may impact you directly or indirectly, and so it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be, you know, a long sessions or long periods of time. So that's why you want to just be mindful of what all needs to be in order, so that you can take chunks of time to do so. And that's again a space where you can elicit the help of another professional, whether it be an accountant or a financial planner.
Ask questions of the people providing the resources and the services to you.
It's hard to have conversations like that. If anything, if you love them, you do that. I just wanted to put that out there, because I would hate for anybody to go through what my family went through in that situation.
I had parents that I had to care for a period of time, and what I think I failed to do is really having the candid conversation sometimes of asking them, what do you want? Yes, you tend to forget. You just tend to go in protection and care for mode, and you do things and make decisions based on how you feel like they should go.
While people are healthy and well, even coordinate these things, organize these things. If things do happen abruptly or, you know, progress swiftly, it's one less thing you'll ever have to think about in that moment.
Let's talk about support.
There can be great benefit to bringing someone on who can specifically concentrate on their role and position in whatever realm they're there for, whether it's medically or things like that. Everyone's going to need support. So as the caregiver, who do you have that you can connect with, lean on, take some time away with, you know, even if it's a dinner or a movie or an outing, like you will need time to kind of just breathe and recenter and refocus.
And don't feel guilty. Because, go ahead, girl.
No, you got it. Go ahead. Guilt is a real thing. When you step away from the situation and you're not there, you feel guilty, and it's a huge issue that you then now have placed that burden upon yourself, that I'm not being fair and I'm being selfish and all these other elements, when in fact you're not being selfish, because if you replenish, then you're bringing more to the table in the situation.
That is
after
so
the fact.
true. There are support groups, you know, pretty much jumping on the internet, Googling support groups for caregivers. Hospitals have them, libraries have them, churches have them. I think you'll find that I'm not going through this alone. Some of these feelings I'm having are very common for the situation that I'm in.
Delegation is super important during this time period. You know, knowing that you do not have to be all in all at all times. There are other individuals who may be there just waiting to hear you say, hey, can you do the grocery shopping this week? Can you go and, run and pick up the medication on your way home? Things like that. It may not be that you even need them to stay for hours, but removing a task from your to-do list could be so instrumental in removing something from your day that it just frees you up for a little bit more time, that it really makes a big impact.
So if you have 2 or 3 neighbors in your neighborhood that are maybe home, most often retired, and they don't mind helping, go out and speak with them. I may need to count on you from time to time to help me out. Or if you have family members that you can call on, set up your dream team so that you're not always the person that's doing. You can reach out to these people that you've already designated, already had conversations with, and already have agreements with.
I do want to mention, if there are individuals, family or friends, that are in a space where you're finding that they're not necessarily coming to the plate as you anticipated or expected, understand that everybody goes through this process differently, and it's going to look different for everybody. And have the conversation. Go without expectations, because once you do, you're setting yourself in a position to say, why wouldn't you? This is what you should do. This is what I'm doing. And so sometimes we have to utilize individuals where they would be best, and where they speak up about being able to be present, because they may not be able to be at the bedside because that's too hard for them, but they may be able, like I said, to do some of the other things.
Grocery shopping.
Exactly. And they may be good at the finances, or putting together a whole list or a spreadsheet of the medical information, what doctors they go to, what tests they have, all of that, keeping those files together. I know we said therapists and therapy and things like that. Family sessions are really good in this area, because sometimes it helps you to get a different perspective and really talk about and navigate that arena with someone who is able to just let you be honest, be free, and be understanding in that moment.
But there are some resources. The Family Caregiver Alliance, the National Center on Caregiving, www.caregiver.org. We also have Family Care Navigator, which is www.caregiver.org.
So we can start with coping. One of the things that we think about are maybe the 4 R's. So sometimes you're going to have to reorganize your life. Sometimes you're going to have to rethink about your priorities. Relax, find relaxation, exercise, hobbies, mindfulness, your spiritual foundation that you may have, your religious foundation you may have. This is the time to really turn to it all. And then release. Let people know what you need. Let the excessive burdens go, which is a hard process. This is where you'll need to find support and help, whether it be therapy or support groups, or whatever capacity you feel you connect best with. And take a good look at what others can do to help you. Ask and accept the assistance. Oftentimes we are used to being so strong that we forget it's okay to accept someone saying, I'm here for you. And we question, well, maybe they said that out of obligation. Accept it. Accept it.
I agree.
So,
a couple of other coping strategies is make sure you're eating well. Nutrition is important. Be mindful of what you put in your body. Organize. Make sure you're organized. Like I said, documents, even your personal documents. The more you're organized, the easier it is to navigate these waters. And definitely use respite when possible. A lot of times we think of a center for respite, but no, it can be a next door neighbor that may be able to take on your loved one, or another family member. Just, ask for respite when you need it to be able to breathe and start your self-care process.
Say no to the things you cannot do, because we are not perfect, and we can't do everything, and we are one person with 24 hours in a day. So sometimes there are things that you need to say no to. And so be mindful. Depression tends to be also one of the biggest concerns that arise when one is dealing with long-term care as a caregiver. So definitely be mindful of that.
The scripture for the week is Matthew 11:28-30. And it says, come to me, all of you who work and have heavy loads, I will give you rest. Follow my teachings and learn from me. I am gentle and do not have pride. You will have rest for your souls. For my way of carrying a load is easy and my load is not heavy.